those who trust in God. Upon our feet His gospel is shot.
Hi guys, welcome to my backyard. This is Poland. That's what it looks like. I guess at this time of the year. Look, today I want to tell you a story about a friend that I had, about the brother in the Lord. I went to visit in hospital a few years ago. Someone told me that Gerald, a friend, basically is sick, and that I should come and visit him in hospital. At this time, I was in Australia, and of course I had to come to visit him. I remember Gerald when I came to the Lord. He was always there. This old wise man that, and everything he said was like gold. It was beautiful. And I was quite saddened to knowing that Gerald is going, and he's going to leave us basically, because he had a cancer. It was pretty severe. It was obvious that he's not going to be with us for very long. And when I came to visit him, I came there to cheer him up basically. And he was lying there in the on the bed, not looking very well, I can tell you this. And we started chatting, and he told me, Konrad, I'm recently thinking about Psalm 23, and I assumed Psalm 23. What's the first thing that comes to your mind, And first thing is, even if I go through the valley of the shadow of death, but Gerald didn't actually quote the scripture. Gerald, he said basically, he said, I'm pondering, Konrad, on He restores my soul. And I thought, what's there to be restoring, Gerald? This man is perfect. He's just most beautiful human being I've ever seen. And I was very touched by this. And this was, for me, probably the one of the biggest spiritual meeting, in a sense. I met a spiritual giant, and for me it was one of the most important lessons. And of course, the stuff you always hear about, but there are things when there's I call it applied faith. If it's applied, it's wonderful sometimes, and you get this revelation. You think, wow, that's what it really means. And then of course, look, you have to have a look in a wonderful scripture. And let's have a look anyway. Luke 12, let's go from 16 until 21. Then he spoke a parable to them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man yielded plentifully. Look at this. It's wonderful here. It's actually, this is not a virtual background. It's real. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, since I have no room to store my crops? So he said, I will do this. I will put down my barns and build a greater. And there I store all my crops and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, you have many goods laid up for many years. Take you easy, eat, drink, and be merry. Sounds like fun. And that's something quite normal. What do you think? He hasn't done anything bad. He's not doing anything actually evil. He's just planning, and it's a wise thing that he does in a worldly sense, isn't it? Well, I do it sometimes like this. But God said to him, fool, this night your soul will be required of you. Then whose will those things be which you have provided? So is he who lays up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God. And guys, it's about being rich in God is a whole different story. Yes, we all in the world gather things. We all save money, and which is a good thing. it is not a bad thing. So actually the man here doesn't do anything wrong in a sense. But if as spirit-filled people, if we focus on those things too much, it can take away our innocence. It can take something that is real. And that what this man did in his natural, we should be doing in a spiritual. You know, and Gerald reminded me that, you know, we are pilgrims, basically. We here, look, it's a beautiful place that, you know, as I'm saying here, you know, I live in quite a beautiful place. You live in quite a beautiful place, I'm sure. You know, and it's easy to follow it, to go along. But look, God says, focus on the spiritual things. What this man did to his goods, he did a good job. He was probably a smart guy, you know, because to do this, you know, you have to be quite smart to, you know, to run a business and that it all works well. But God says, do this spiritually, because if you do it spiritually, look, that's a whole different dimension. We are just the pilgrims, and Gerald reminded me of that very much, and you know, that was such a powerful experience. I do remember this until today, and I'll never forget it. And I realized that actually being rich in God, I mean, you know, we always knew it, but sometimes to really understand things, being rich in God is the best thing you can do. Because if you are like this, then all the other things, they all pop into their places, and it's just such life is so much easier. You know, life becomes so much easier. And you know, Gerald left us some time ago, and you know, when he left, I actually wasn't sad. I knew, you know, Gerald is there in a safe place, and look, when I'm there, I want to be somewhere around him somewhere, you know. And this is beautiful, you know, that we have in Revival this wonderful legacy of senior members of the church, of senior brothers and sisters. And I encourage anyone to talk to a senior member of the church, and you know, to ask them for a piece of wisdom. Okay, let's do it, guys, because look, you can find something really amazing. You can call them up if you cannot meet them, and I'm sure they will be more than happy to do it, because there's so much wisdom in elders. It's just unbelievable. So guys, that's it for today. Thank you. And this is, I'm sure Lucia was helping today with organizing everything. So that's, and guys, and thank you very much, and I hope I'll see you in Poland at some stage. Thank you. Bye.
We shall not be moved.
We shall not be moved.
God's got us in His hand.
Got us in His hand.
For if we be in God's hand,
We in God's hands.
we cannot be plucked out.